This is the winning boat design from Physics Olympics 2018. They decided to go with a PVC frame around which they wrapped a blue tarp. They decided to put a piece of wood down here so that they had a slightly more comfortable seat. You'll notice they used zip strips right here, or zip ties, to hold the tarp in place. The duct tape you're looking at was extra. I don't think this group had a chance to test out their boat, so as a precaution, they had this pink insulation taped on the sides and on the end of their boat. But I don't think that was anywhere near necessary because of the good design that they had. So all that duct tape was there holding that together. So take away the duct tape and that's what you have right there. Now, one thing they did, looking here, it looks clear that in transporting it, they were dragging this across the floor, which was ripping apart their waterproof tarp, which made their boat a little bit leaky. Obviously, it didn't take on enough water for them to sink, but that's something to consider when you're transporting your boat. You don't want to drag it across the cement. And again, all that duct tape you see here was just to hold the styrofoam in place that, as it turns out, they didn't need. Now, this group right here, this boat would probably, they'd have to test it out, that boat probably could have been enough to actually hold 2 people. And at least this particular year when they did it, the only requirement is that you have one person go one way and one person come back. If you have 2 people in there at the same time going, then that means you can go faster and you don't have to take time to do the transition. So this right here has, kind of proven itself to be the best model of a boat that we've had in a while. So this would be my my suggestion in designing your boat. This right here is the remains of another boat that was made for Physics Olympics. 2 large sheets of insulation, very, very very buoyant, was able to hold a lot of weight. And then they had some noodles glued on underneath. The glue, either it hadn't dried or it didn't work well in the water and it started to get a little soft and mushy. This one, again, it was very buoyant. It was able to hold someone. The problem was that there wasn't any length to it. So paddling on one side simply caused the boat to rotate instead of to go forward. So you need to make sure that you have a boat that does have some length to it, or even better, you have a boat that actually has a fin or a keel across the bottom. That's going to prevent your boat from twisting as you paddle. In addition, this boat was nearly as wide as the lane itself, which means that there was no room to paddle on either side. So it worked as a raft, but it didn't work all that well as a boat. This thing turned into essentially the world's largest kickboard. Now, there was a second group that had a boat that looked just like this, and they were doing a great job. Unfortunately, one of the participants had no idea how to properly paddle a boat without a kayak paddle. If I want the boat to turn left, which way do I paddle? To turn right, etc. So whoever you are selecting to compete, make sure they know how it is, what you need to do to properly paddle a boat. If you don't get a chance to actually practice somewhere, again, make sure you have a discussion, watch some YouTube videos, something, because there is a group that they had a great boat, but they weren't able to perform well simply because one of the participants just didn't know how to paddle. I know some people say, how can you not know? Well, plenty of people aren't aware if they've never done it before. So there is a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of skill that goes into it. So make sure you consider that as well.